Okay, I've been attempting deep notching today, and it's getting late, so I need to make a video. Just before I turned the camera on, I was cleaning this up, and I got a ring crack in the edge. But I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to notch it anyway. Okay? It'll be a bell or an andice, depending on how difficult it is for me to get the notches in. Alright? So, before it gets too late to make the video, I am going to attempt the andice or the bell point. So I'm just going to mark it. I'm not going to talk very much during the video because I want to focus. Yeah. I need to focus on this. So I'll just be notching without talking much. Okay. Yeah, I tried to have at least 2 inches before I do any of these deep basal notches on any of the points that require basal notches. Alright, at least 2 inches. This is 2 3/8. That's not bad. I started off with regular pressure flakes, and then I move on to the nacho. Okay. Yeah, the real ones, I think they were made with punch work, with vertical punches, so this is not far off from how they were made. As far as the theory, the tools and the techniques are probably very different, but the basic principle of vertical notching is still here. I think these were made with vertical notching techniques of some sort. Now, I don't do much of this, so forgive me if I don't do narrow entry notching. I'm not too concerned about that at this stage of my skill level because I'm just trying to get the hang of doing deep notches. I've done them before, but then I got burnt out, and I didn't want to spend time on them because it was using up too much of my good material. So I just said, no, it's not worth it. But I'm lucky lately that I've gotten some good material, plenty of it, for experimenting. At least for a month. I can focus on this for about a month, but then my supply will probably run out of rocks I can do this with. So I'll take advantage of it while I can. Now with chert, it seems like it works well if with the deep notches on thick material if I keep the punch vertical as much as I can. and still have a good seat at the bottom of that notch. Vertical seems to be pretty good as far as popping out the right type of flake instead of at a 45 or 70 degree angle. So I'm doing a lot of just straight up and down vertical punch. And I've learned not to grind it too much before the next punch on the other side. Don't dull it too much. Just a little bit. You still need a bottom of the bulb to set your tool into to do the vertical punch that pops out a good flake without step fracturing. Yeah, you kind of need that vertical positioning on the punch. Okay. Yeah, it's got a seat at the bottom of the bulb, or it's going to slide like it just did. It just slides off. See that? You need a bulb at the bottom so that the punch can seat well. Yeah. Try to avoid that. Try to. That's the only thing that interferes with the bulbs sometimes. The incomplete flake removal. It interferes with the bulb. But there's a bulb down in there. Yep. Set the tool corner right into that bulb. And then vertical punch down. And it usually pops out a good flake. And it's just by experience knowing if you can do another one. Can I do another one right beside it? Or keep going on the same side? Yeah. Without ruining everything. Yeah, it's just a matter of practice. I've been doing this all day, and I broke some and I made some. Some successes and some failures today. Hopefully this month I'll be able to pick up some more material so I won't be totally out of material. I still need to do more videos on notch work and punch work like this. I'm trying to practice up on it. This is a percussion technique, so like all percussion, I can't think too much about it. With pressure flaking, it's a little bit different. You can think about it a lot, but with percussion, you got to go with what muscle memory has accumulated in your brain. You can't think about it too much. If you start thinking about it too much, you stall the bottom of the notch and run into all sorts of weird issues. Crackly stuff. Why? Because you hesitate. You just gotta let the muscle memory do its job. If you try to use your memory, it doesn't work as well. For some reason, the brain has a system designed to, create a good muscle memory skill set. You don't want to mess with it. You just want to use it without interfering with it. It's going to do it on its own. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I tell myself. Just let it do its thing. Don't think about it too much. And don't hesitate. Unless your muscle memory is new and it made a mistake, okay, fine, you can back off. consciously. Other than that, think about it too much and it'll stall out. So there's got to be a bulb and a vertical punch almost straight up and down. And this the same with a non-spring loaded punch. You know, if I was hitting this with a tool on the back, you know, just a regular punch. Yeah, I don't have it available, but you know what I mean. It's just a regular punch and you hit it on the back with a mallet. Same position. Same old everything. Same tool tip. Just you're hitting it with a mallet instead of with the spring action. Why am I not squaring out the bottom of the notch? Well, mainly because the percussion is slightly different than pressure. Percussion, you need to get the tool seated in the bottom of a bulb with the percussion. With pressure, you got more options. It just seems like you have more options with pressure. You don't always have to have a nice bulb to set your tool in. You can grab the edge a little bit, even though it's not perfect, with the pressure flaker, and just push off flakes pretty easily. But with percussion, it's somehow more tricky. Okay? I don't know how to explain it, other than it's just more tricky with percussion. And you can run into a lot more problems with percussion, in my opinion. It's very aggressive. The percussion is very aggressive. I mean, I like it, but it gets me into trouble. Now this is raw chert. Luckily it's cooperating. It doesn't always cooperate, this raw stuff. Like the ring crack, that was bad, and so forth. But with the notching, it seems like it's going okay. And the other stuff I notched today was a little bit more difficult than this. This is working out well, I think. Yeah. A little bit more consistent on the pop outs. I don't know if it's me with more practice or material. At this stage of my skill level, I can't tell if it's you know, the practice I've had all day today, or it's just the material that's cooperating. I don't know. Or maybe the fact that I turned the video camera on is making me a little more cautious. It could be that too. Yeah, I blew out some notches, believe me. Today I blew a bunch of stuff out. Didn't break everything, but I did blow out some notches that I didn't think were going to go that far. You know what I mean? It did. They looked a little bit too deep. It seems like a good problem to have, but if you want a certain look, you got to pay attention to how deep the notches go. Okay. So these are the same depth now. I could try to go a little bit further, but if I hesitate, what's going to happen is I'm going to get step fractures at the bottom of the notch. But I'll try anyway. Just a little bit more. I got to figure out a way to put numbers on the depth of the notch compared to the width or something, or the stem twice as high as it is wide, maybe would be a place that you could stop. So it's like 3/4, so 1.5 inches deep. That's very deep, so maybe not that far. If I just standardize it 3/4 by 1 inch, so if it's 1 inch, it needs to be a little deeper. If we do it in millimeters, let's say 18 by 30, or by, let's say 18 by 28. It'd be kind of adventurous, but, or 15 by 25, or 18 by 25. No, it's 18. 18 by 25. 25 millimeters is approximately 1 inch. I'm still not 1 inch deep. There's a little bit more to go. But that little bit, go snap it right across that. But it's got to be, the stem has to be longer than it is wide. And I do have it longer than it is wide. Okay? On an andice, or, I'm not sure about the bell, but the andice, the stem is longer than it is wide. Okay? Now, let's see. Let's look at the book. What book is it? It's this book. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to do is I'll compare the depth and width of my notch to something in the book. So it's deeper than this one here. Okay. It's in line with this one. This one. Okay. I could probably duplicate that one. This one's got a more narrow stem. This one has deeper notches, just slightly. I need to go 1/8 inch more on if I wanted to duplicate this one. 1/8 inch more. Yeah, just a little bit more. Right now, the bottoms of the notches are nice and unstalled. Yeah. My notches are deeper than this one here. So I mean I'm within range. I should just stop at this stage, unless I'm confident that I can get non-stalled bottoms of these notches. Let me see. Do I want to risk it? They're so nice right now. Yeah. I'm not going to risk it. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that ring crack, and I'm going to need room to do that. So if I were to extend these notches up 1/8 inch more, I probably won't be able to, fix this side. And I think I can still thin the blade out a little bit. Yeah. All right, let's see. So let me fix this ring crack situation. It's pretty drastic. Oh well, let's see. I was smart, I'd probably thin down the blade before I make this distance any shorter or any more narrow. Do I want to thin the blade down? Let's see. I do want to thin it down a little bit. Why didn't I do it before? Honestly, I thought I was going to break it going up this way. Yeah. I just turned the video camera on because I needed to make a video tonight. All right. It's not a video camera, it's my phone. Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. The last piece of chert was not that cooperative. This one's not too bad. It was easy for me to biface this down also, so the choice of material is probably helping me a lot. The fact that it's cooperating, except for that. Yeah. That flake didn't go much of anywhere. Yeah, it's a dicey area. I'm going to make it symmetrical here in a minute, or try to do a little bit of symmetry on it. Okay. I thought it was going to be cooperative. Let me see. Yeah. A little more aggressive is a little more scoopy. Not good. Yes, it was supposed to do that and not scoop it out. Okay. Oh, come on. How much grinding do I need to do? If I do too much, it's gonna snap with another ring crack. Okay. Yeah, that was a nail biter. Alright, so that's it. That's it for the thinning flakes. Now just cosmetic stuff. Yeah. I could try to get that one more cosmetic flake right there. Just for looks. A cosmetic flake is just for looks. Yeah. Alright. Those cosmetic flakes can give you gray hairs. Oh yes. How do I know? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to make it symmetrical. Yeah. I don't know if I'll take out that ring crack entirely. Probably not. I'll just incorporate that into the final design. How's that? It won't be all the way sharp down the edge. Okay. The only thing bad about having everything in one spot is it starts to stack up. And you can't see it. But it's there. What helps me is that it's there. Yeah, I found out the ADHD people have a pile. They organize by piling up things. Yeah, I thought it was just because it was expedient. I tried to be neat about it, and I lose my train of thought. I think I mentioned that in a previous video. Yeah. Now, I probably wouldn't mention it too much because it's none of your beeswax, but it does affect the Flintknapping. Yeah. And people back in the day most likely had ADHD, so that's part of how they were made. So if you want to know how they were made, some of them were made by people with ADHD. Some of them were made with people with OCD. Some of them were made by people who are very normal, as far as no psychological tormenting issues, no depression, no handicaps of any major sort, other than maybe stress. Everyone's always under stress. But you know what I mean. Without any major psychological issues that can shut you down or make you do things that delay the process or make the napping look weird or stupid. Yeah, that's how they were made. If you really want to know, you got to take all that into account. That's why I mention it. It certainly affects my napping, because there are some things that drive me up the wall that I don't want to do, even though my napping could probably improve quite a bit. I don't do them because they drive me up the wall psychologically. Yeah. So, you know, there's a good possibility that that's how they were made back in the day as well. It's not just the tools that present issues with the way that they were made. It's the napper and the mindset and the psychological challenges, perhaps, that affect the napping. Now, can we actually look at points and go, ah, yeah, that was an OCD napper, or that was an ADD napper? No, probably not. But maybe you can eventually. You never know, but I don't think you can. But you can't dismiss it just because you can't be shown or prove that a certain point was made by an OCD or ADD napper. Doesn't mean it didn't exist. So that's why I like to say that nobody knows exactly. There's too many things involved in napping. No one knows exactly how these things were made. And some guy could make a point look a certain way if he's using, let's say the whole tribe is using white-tailed deer antler tines. You think, or is it reasonable to think that all the flakes are going to look very similar, or will there be variations in the flaking? And maybe to the extent that it looks like they were using different tool sets. Like maybe they were not using tines, but they were just doing a lot of percussion with little billets and not pressure flaking with big tines. That sort of thing. It's not all going to look the same, even though everyone's using the same tool, because of psychological issues, levels of skill, that sort of thing. It's not just the tools that create a look in the point. It could be an extremely humid season and all the antler is soft and everyone's making stupid points because all the antler, it doesn't stay dry. And it's a pain to keep your antler next to the fire the whole day because your wife says you're using up all the firewood. Not supposed to. Yeah, but my antler's not dry. Who cares about the antler? Your child has got a sniffles. You need firewood. Keep everybody warm. You might say, well, I'm not going to make beautiful arrowheads unless I get fire to dry my antler. You don't need beautiful arrowheads to kill the deer. The deer don't care. Okay? So there you go. Just one scenario. Yep. Because I know some of you guys are going to go, oh, it's easy to take care of antler that's too soft because of the moisture in the air. Just, you know, just put it by the fire. Yeah, get your kids to collect all the wood. Yeah. Make them your slaves. Make them your wood gathering slaves. You wish. You want healthy children, you don't turn them into your slaves. And you find that out really quick. You want mentally healthy children, you cannot turn them into your slaves. No. Just FYI. Alright, so almost done. Is that close enough for the symmetry? I don't want to go too crazy with the symmetry because that's a bad defect. Is good enough? I think it's good enough. Yeah. I might sharpen this side a little bit. It's kind of thick down here. Yeah. It's kind of thick right there. I don't know if I can get that out. I might be able to make it look a little better. No? Let's see. I still got that lingering sickness. It's not too bad today. Yeah, it's going away. I'm not feeling the fatigue from it like I was earlier this week. Okay. Let's see. I got to be careful. See, I'm pushing the ear onto the pad, so the only pressure is on that ear. Okay, I'm not pushing down anywhere else except right where I'm trying to remove a flake. So try to get that thinned down a little bit, but I think if I try too much, it's not going to be good. Just a little bit more. I do need to sharpen it right now because I just dulled it with the file. So it's a little bit asymmetrical. Yeah, all my points for the auction this time are going to be asymmetrical anyway, so oh well. But anyway, I'll be doing more of these, and I will be doing the proportions on the stem. I'm going to do like an average, or maybe a not an average, but a little bit better than average as far as depth of the notches go. So I'll push it a little bit further than the average andice. Some andice points do not have really deep notches, like this one here. This matches some of them in the book, right? That's not that deep. Some of them are very deep notches. So I'll take an average and then I'll push a little bit above the average for the future stuff that I want to do, right? The reason why I don't usually do this stuff is because it's such a hassle. It takes the enjoyment out of flint knapping. I'd rather just do the bold flaking patterns. That's what makes me excited. The notching, not so much. All right, but heck, everything gets easier with practice. If I can practice enough so that this becomes actually pretty easy, that would be awesome. That would be fantastic. All right, 37 minutes. It's not too long for people that like the shorter videos. Alrighty, that's it.